Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. Well, we have done it, played everything up to September 1982, and we're now headed to October of 1982. Here is our first release. It is on the Emerson Arcadia 2001, and it's 3D bowling. And this system may have been called something else depending on what region you're in, but in North America, this is what it was by Emerson. Let's check out some 3D bowling and see what it's all about, starting with the box. So 3D bowling is following the same trope as everything else we've seen on the Emerson Arcadia 2001. It's doing this like pseudo watercolor, a different visual theme for every single box for every game on this console. Pretty interesting. I still prefer, you know, the way that Atari's done the front of their box, the art style, and of course the Intellivision as well. All right, so there you go. That is the box, and there is the system, the Emerson Arcadia 2001. If you haven't forgotten yet, it has an overlay that you put over the top to play all the games, and it has a very funky-looking joystick, but everything's still digital. There's nothing like analog, and it's meant to be like the disc on the Intellivision, but, you know, it's a joystick sticking out of the top of it. So there's the cartridge we're going to pop in to play on our Emerson Arcadia 2001. A system that we don't see too much of. Most of the games are hit or miss, so I'm surprised to see what will happen here. Let's see what the manual has for us for bowling. Now, this manual is for the MG310, which is one of the models, which is the Emerson Arcadia 2001. I believe this is the version that was in Australia or New Zealand. I don't know what is happening on the picture here. The manual has bowling, obviously, but it looks like they're doing a workout. Sweatpants and a sweatband on top. It's a hard bowling game, I guess. So aim carefully, release the bowl slowly and smoothly, and watch it roll toward the pins. Yeah, that's pretty much what bowling is. It's an exciting and challenging way to go 10-pin bowling. Test your own skill or play against an opponent. Bowl a tricky curveball. Watch out for the gutters. Yes, it's bowling on a home console. This, ladies and gentlemen, marks our 19th bowling game we've seen on the show across arcade, console, handhelds, and home computers. On consoles, though, this is our 8th bowling game we've seen, and it's across all the major consoles. The very first bowling game we ever saw for any console was on the RCA Studio 2 in 1977, followed shortly after that on the Fairchild Channel F. Two consoles that we don't see anymore here in October 1982. Yeah, and one of the best ones we've seen, like, think of all the consoles that are out there. We've already seen bowling on, you know, Magnavox Odyssey, Atari, Intellivision. All of the major consoles have had bowling, and now Emerson Arcadia's got to have bowling too. Score as many points as possible. It's the 10-frame bowling. How to get started and play the game. It's showing you how to put the cartridge in, insert the cartridge, then turn the system on. And here's the hand controller. Now, this hand controller is slightly different than the Emerson Arcade controller, but notice what this says. You put the bowling inlay, you know, you put the overlay over your plate, and the joystick controls are not functional in this game. What? What do you mean the joystick controls are not functional? You have a joystick. Why aren't we using the joystick on the Arcadia 2001? And then you switch on the system, and explains what you're going to see, because this is going to be presented very similar to the Intellivision. I think it's the professional bowling, PBA bowling is what they called it on Intellivision, where you have a side view beginning and then it switches to the bowling ball going down the lane. And then the controls are, everything is on the numpad. So you have to have the overlay to know what buttons to use, because it doesn't use the joystick at all. But you can move left and right, hook left and right. You can even change the spin. And the way the bowling ball is released is you push the button once and then you push it again. But if you go too late, the bowler stepped over the baseline and the bowl will be invalid. So it's almost like a fault, like they added fault to bowling. You need to make sure you let go or release the bowling ball at the right time. Yes, I know. Don't eat the squid. It needs less buttons. It doesn't need that many buttons to play the game. Oh my gosh. So here we go. Close-up action. It zooms in on one side. I know, yeah. Welcome, everyone, to October 1982. We kick off the month with bowling. And it explains how to end the game, start the new game. So it is a one-player game or a two-player game. You can play against the computer or against someone else, and you take turns playing some bowling. And then this is what we've seen also, the operational flow diagram, if you want to know how it works. But let's pop in and play some 3D bowling. This is by UA Limited, published by Emerson at some time in the beginning of October 1982. All right, here we go. So it starts off with this screen. It doesn't do a full-on attract mode like Atari does. The Emerson Arcadia has this, and then whenever it's time to go, you push start on the system. So we push start. We're going to do a one-player game, which means just going to go solo. No one to play with or take turns here. I know, right? All right, so pushing start. And possibly the emulation, but it sounds like there's a motor running in the background. Can everyone else hear that? It's a little quiet. Now, I'm moving the joystick, but the joystick doesn't do anything. So at first I thought that the manual was because that version of the game, but no, even the one in North America, the joystick isn't working. Everything we have to do is on the keypad, so you have to know what the number inlay is. All right, so let's move our bowler, line us up. They're doing the side view or almost diagonal down view that we had on the Intellivision, and then when it's time to bowl, you push the button once, and then if you miss, like you don't push the button the second time, then you fault. So that was a fake bowl. All right, let's try doing it for real. Hit it at the right time. Don't fault now. Okay, there you go. The bowling ball looks like it's flat. Oh, that's got to be a strike. Go. Oh, first round strike. I don't believe it. I've done play tests and it's been terrible bowling. I wasn't able to get anything, and I can't believe I got a strike on the live show. We usually got bad luck when we hit this live, so that's pretty cool. Okay, yeah, you can hear whatever's buzzing in the background. I'm gonna blame it on emulation, so we'll just say that. Here we go. Big W for the win. Thanks so much. All right, going for the second one, and see if we can pick up the spare. The ball looks like it's deflated as it goes down originally. Like, look at that. It's a few pixels that feel a little off for it. All right, let's try it again. We can also do curves. So as soon as you release the ball, you can start curving right now when you get to this screen. It looks like we missed the spare. Oh, just by a little bit. Maybe it is, Brian. The ambience of the bowling alley. You need to hear the engines running in the background. Is that what it is? If we're near a motorcade or something. So they're keeping track of the score, and I'm really not impressed because of all the games you can be playing right now on home consoles, all the other bowling games use a joystick. Even the really bad ones like the APF Imagination Machine or the MP1000 or the Fairchild, like all of those are be able to use the joystick, and this one is not. It's only using numbers, so it's extremely cumbersome. When I play a game on a home console, I'm expecting to use the joystick, so it's very weird when it doesn't use the joystick. You gotta admit, though, the presentation's okay because it's like the Intellivision one, switching the screens up, and it looks all right, but the way it plays is just really bad. Yeah, we've seen better bowling games, and on home consoles, there's much better ones than this one. So there's another fail for the Emerson Arcadia 2001. Of all the games you could play right now on a home console, I gotta go bad. It's also bowling, you know, because bowling should be an easy win. But why, oh why, did they do it without joystick controlled? I don't know. So I'm going to say 2 stars of all the games you could be playing right now on a home console. If you and a friend wanted to clamor around and ignore the joystick and just mess around with the buttons, then go for it. So I'm already seeing some ratings out there. City Arcade saying 2 stars as well, and Brian North 2. Curtis is 2. Jimmy's Not So Kind with 1.5. Yeah, even some lower star, 1.5 star ratings. Yeah, we're not going to see that one probably till ever, Chiptune. Wii Bowling, I have no idea what you're talking about. You're speaking from the future. All right, so after a poor start, let's see what our next title is. We're now going to the Atari home computer, 400 or 800, maybe even 1200. Here's Air Raid. Air Raid is another one we've seen from APX or the Atari Program Exchange. This one marks our 40th game that has been published by the Atari Program Exchange. What a win. This is by Chuck Gibkey. Way to go, Chuck. Head off the bombers before they reach the city. And then there's our 5 1/4 floppy disk. We're going to put in our Atari to play. So no cartridges here, even though it's got a cartridge slot. Let's see how we play some Air Raid. So the manual is pretty much what you'll see inside the packaging. So that's why it looks like the front cover, or at least what everyone says is the front cover. So it looks like we need 16K on cassette or disc. We'll put 24K. Make sure we get 24K into our Atari system. And it looks like Chuck did Chuck do the, yeah, Chuck did the manual too? Man, not only are the programmers doing everything, like we're in the age of one programmer working on everything for the game, but also the programmers are working on the manual too and the contents. It's incredible. Whoa, we got lore, an intro. Samuel jumps quickly into his plane and takes off. Once airborne, he flies straight for the bomber formation. A quick burst from his guns, and the first one falls. The rest follow, as do those in the second wave. A piece of cake, Samuel gloats as he lands to refuel. What? So we have a story? We're playing as Samuel? And we're in the war. So our job in this game is to blow up all the bombers before they attack the city. Enemy bombers appear in increasing numbers with some fighter escorts attack your aircraft. The radar beacon and the 2 airstrips. You fly over 8 scrolling screens of landscape using a limited amount of fuel and ammunition to shoot down as many planes as possible. Your final score shows how good a fighter pilot you are, and Air Raid keeps track of the high score and game session. Nice. Yeah, lore in a war game is kind of rare. Most of the time we get those from, role-playing games or strategy games. Oh, that's true. Yeah, Curtis, it blows me away of how much work one person can do, because there's only a few companies that are out there right now that have a team, maybe 5 or 6 people, and so, or even more than that. But most of the games are one person. It just blows my mind that not only are they doing all the programming, all the design, all the creativity, but then also all the manual and instructions. It's amazing. Still blows my mind. I'll probably keep doing that and being surprised by 1983 too. It's going to happen all over the 80s. All right, so it shows us how to load into computer memory. We're going to make sure you have basic to play this one. And then scoreboard's going to display the high scores. Each strike is going to be more difficult. If you want to start at the easiest level, leave the skip number alone at 0. But for greater challenge, you can use the game select switch and go levels 1 to 9 is what it has. Press the start key on your Atari home computer to begin the first strike. And then the playfield, this is great. They're showing not a screenshot, but a ASCII view of what the game is. So we have a radar scanner at the top, a la Defender, but this one doesn't play like Defender. And then we got 8 TV screens wide. Radar scanner covers this entire area from extreme left, where the bombers appear, to the extreme right, where your base and city are located. And then the field of view is everything you're going to see. And down at the bottom, it shows all the fuel, ammo, and planes. Yeah, there we go. Strike number, fuel, ammo, planes, high score, and then if you've skipped, number of strikes you've skipped since the start of the game. So we move with a joystick, unlike our Emerson Arcadia 2001, to take off, move up, left, and right, land near playfield. So you're actually going to be flying a plane, like taking off and landing the plane. Yeah, I can imagine typing this all up. And every time we see these APX manuals, it looks like they typed it up on a typewriter. Like, it wasn't done with anything with computers. It was just printed off. So cool. And we got fuel, refueling, and rearming. So your fuel's going to run down, and you have to land in a refueling station. And half the fuel in your aircraft is stored in the main fuel tanks and half in disposable drop tanks. If you drop the external tanks, you increase aircraft performance, but you cut flying in half. Very cool. You can drop tanks at any time when you're in the air. To drop the tanks, press the spacebar on the computer console. So you're going to be using joystick and keyboard if you need to. I mean, if you want to have more performance on your ship. And then any damage the bombers cause is repaired between strikes, so you just have to wipe out the strike and then you'll have everything fixed. No need to land for fixing anything. There's all the scores to play some Air Raid. Make sure you memorize them since it's 1982. And then all the controls that we've seen for the Atari home computer. This is the tactics or the hints on how to play the game, like defending, ignoring fighters at certain points. So lots of help there. Thanks so much. Great job. And then as usual, yeah, Atari Program Exchange wants you to review the game. So cool. All right, let's pop in and play some Air Raid. This is by Chuck Gibkey, published by APX at some time in the beginning of October 1982. Or I guess by the time you mail ordered it in, whoever was first to get it mail ordered in. There you go. So no high score. We just got the game. And there you go. You can see the publication says October 1st, 1982. Now, that possibly was when they were planning to release or whenever it was programmed. But I'm going to use that date since we can get any dates we can finalized. I'll take it. October 1st. Here you go. All right, let's push start to begin right in the beginning. And it already comes off way too quiet, so let's try this again. I'm going to raise our volume up. And try this again. Okay, now we're ready. Usually when I play everything on the Atari, the volume level is a little bit lower. That should do it. There we go, strike one. Sweet. Okay, so I am playing as the blue plane down the bottom right. There we go. So I just did my takeoff. It was pretty simple. Just raise the joystick up. And I'm able to move left and right, just like in Defender. So the ship is pretty small, but look at the top radar. That's what's really impressive. Watch how it's displaying the radar. It's slowly bringing into view the enemies and my ship as the bar goes across. So of all the radars we've seen so far, that's really impressive. How it's fading in and out, the landscape and my ship as the blip, and then you can see the enemy ships coming in. I'm flying over to meet them. So gameplay-wise, though, controls really well. Very nice. Oh, utilizing the pokey chip very well. Yeah, not scramble-like because it's not auto-scrolling. All right, here we go. We got a larger wave now, and I can make my way out there. Fuel is slowly ticking down, and so if you need to, you have to refuel in between the waves. But the radar is what's really the most impressive of this. Okay, now we got some enemy ships fighting back, so I'm going to turn around and take them out, and then let's see if we can get this guy. Yeah, nice. Okay, so fuel's still holding pretty well, and we have a limited number of ammo, too. So you have to think about conserving ammo and your fuel. It's awesome. So now we're not going to re-rescue anybody, so it's really not like Chopper Command. It is presented similar to Defender because the radar is at the top and we can move left and right, but it is not doing any kind of rescue, like rescuing humans to prevent them from turning into mutoids. This is it's pretty much like it's a shoot 'em up, but it's allowing you the freedom because you're not auto-scrolling. Oh man, yeah, but now the planes are firing back. I'm not as confident. I could do a sweep where I go past them and then turn around. I'm going to give that a shot and see what happens. All right, here we go. Fuel's looking good, so I'm going to fly my way over to the left. Yeah, maybe it is a mixed way to play. Because we've already seen some games that do this. They're a shoot 'em up that allow you this kind of freedom. This is pretty cool that this is part of APX, though. It's awesome. Okay, took care of that wave. We're checking at the radar at the top. The radar is really the only thing that is the newest, coolest thing. The way that it is, it's waving a bar across as if it was a real radar. Oh, these guys are, yeah, they're putting fighters in the front that are pretty tricky. I'm down to 2 lives, so it's not looking too good. I really like that radar. It feels more official, like it's a real radar, and we have to protect the city. All right, we're gonna go to the left now. Yeah, this isn't playing as well as some of the other Defender variants we played. Like, notice my takeoff and land... I didn't do any landings yet, but the takeoff is really, really stiff and simple. I do like the idea that your fuel is accounted for and ammo, so you have to think of what maneuvers you want to do. So I'm going to do it again. I'm just going to pass them, turn them around, because no one's coming from behind, and then take them all out. You guys aren't fast enough to make it to the land anyway. There we go, made it through another wave, very nice. I love it. Yeah, there's no tail gunner, so why not utilize it, unless we see something later. Okay, we got a different kind of flashing now. Oh, we got one flying in really fast. So there's one passing everyone. I haven't seen this one before. So they're changing up the gameplay, which is kind of nice. Oh, yeah. So he had a really fast one. Oh, I see. So that one must have been a fighter jet. The other ones are bombers that are coming in to the city. And we're down to 1 life here. I like how they changed up the gameplay, or changed up the enemies. So here, I got to take out that plane again. It's coming in pretty fast. It's really cool seeing on the radar the way it's presented. Yep, here it comes. Coming in hot. Okay, I got him. I'm going to fly past. We got even more bombers to take out, so no tail gunners. Take them out. And you can see they're getting closer to the land, but didn't even make it. I love it. Hey, welcome! It's October 1982, and this is Air Raid on the Atari home computer. We've already seen a few games that are similar to this, and the most impressive thing so far has been the radar. Oh, there you go. The fighter plane turned around that time. So they are going to get protection as we play forward. Nice. So as far as the games on home computers, it's actually a little above average for the way it controls as a shoot 'em up and being able to move left and right. So I wouldn't call this stiff compared to everything else that's out there. It actually feels all right. Scrolling is awesome. I mean, it's fairly simplistic. Now we got the same thing. Got to take out the plane, and then bombers. Wow, there's so many bombers now. Oh, he has a tail gunner, so he did shoot me. And I think that's our last one, right? Yeah, and there's our high score. So cool. So the game is progressively adding more and more to it, which is really, really fun. So I dig that. If you think that's an assault to your ears, then you need to see some of the games we've seen so far. All right, so of all the titles so far on a home computer, Air Raid's all right. I'm actually going to start that around the average range. I'd say the radar is a really nice touch, and the change of enemies is really good too. I'm going to think around 3.5 stars. Yeah, Brian's saying 3.75, Jimmy's 3.5. So our score rating, if you're new to the show, if you have to forget everything you've ever known about video games modern and just get right now in October 1982 and ask yourself the question: is this game, from all the games on a home computer, is this a broken game? If you say yes, then you're going to be around this range. If you tell yourself this is a bad game of all the games you can play on a home computer, you'd be around this range. If you tell yourself this is a pretty average computer game of all the other computers that are out there, you say you'd be around this range. And if you say this is a great game, excellent game, you'd be around this range. And if this is one of the best games you can play on a home computer, then you'd be around the 5-star range. So yeah, I'm actually seeing mostly 3.5. So I agree. I'm going to say 3.5 stars for Air Raid. So cool. I would check it out. I'd be playing this quite a bit. It's a really fun title. Let's see what our next one is. It's time to play The Alien on our Commodore VIC-20. So we're going from console to 2 computers already in October 1982. Let's start with the cassette case. The Alien. Oh my gosh, looks like an insect. Catch the deadly maze monsters in your inflatable traps. Wait a second. I think I've heard that one before. So the front of the box is very sci-fi. It looks like them. We're going to have ants attack us. It's awesome. I know, it better be really good. Do we have any other artwork for The Alien? Very generic title. But as far as the cassette case, we have the cassette we're going to pop in. This one's by UMI, and you can see the copyright's 1981. So this one would originally maybe released 1981, and then later in 1982. All right, let's pop in The Alien and see what it's all about. This is by United Microware Industries, or UMI, the beginning of October 1982. All right, let's run this. Oh gosh, thinking of assault of the senses. So let's change that up without destroying our eardrums. Why not? The games are going all over the place. Yes, that's true. It's not just any alien. This is the alien. All right, so I'm going to make sure we have this running the best. There we go. That's a little bit better. I know, right? It's just too loud. All right, so if you're not familiar with any of the games we've seen on the show, then this might look like, you know, a Pac-Man style game, but no. Oh no, The Alien is Heiankyo Alien on your home computer. I am represented by the terrible looking sprite of a yellow guy on the screen. Oh, they're chasing me. Let's see if we can make some traps here. So I can barely even see myself. And we've seen this on the Commodore VIC-20. They mix yellow and white together and you can barely see anything. So I got some aliens that are hitting, getting the bait. Oh man, they knocked me out. And we get the death scene at the end. Very nice. All right, so The Alien was originally Heiankyo Alien that we saw in the arcades in September 1979, and then later in the arcades they called it Digger. Since then, we played 2 versions at home, Super Alien on the Commodore VIC-20 and Super Alien on the Commodore Max Machine. Look, we did fly up it like we're dead. So this one marks the 3rd time you could play this at home. And this looks really similar to the one that we saw on the VIC-20 before, or earlier. The Super Alien, I mean. But this one is not presented as well. I actually liked the one we played. Oh, got him. Cool sound effects, though, for the VIC-20. I like it. Oh, no, he got loose. Because I got trapped by someone else. Okay, let's see if we can catch this guy. Yeah. That's the way to do it. So Heiankyo Alien was an idea of pretty much taking Pac-Man, and after you take Pac-Man, oh, we busted out. So you have to make sure the other second alien doesn't show up. You take Pac-Man, and then you add these traps that you lay. You open up, you spend the time to hold down the button and create a trap, and then if the alien goes in the trap, then you have to close the trap. So it's essentially, I'm holding down the button, and oh my gosh, the game just completely sped up as if it was fast forward. I wonder if it was increasing the difficulty. The alien has won. Oh, that's true. Yeah, we can change the borders for different Commodore VIC-20 games. We have aliens everywhere. So it's not just one alien, it's a bunch of aliens. Yeah, that's true. 1979. Before Pac-Man. It already took the maze idea, or the top-down maze idea, and did that. That's right. All right, so of all the games you can play right now on a home computer, we gave Super Alien around 4 stars because of how rare it would be to play this game, style of game, at home. But now that we played 2 of them, and this one isn't presented as well, I'm thinking around 3 stars, around everything you play at this point, or just average. The idea, though, of this slightly strategy game, you know, more like setting traps and making sure the aliens fall in the traps, is a cool idea. Really, really fun. So I'm even seeing some less than average too. Yeah, I'll say of all the games so far on home computers, this one's still 3 stars. And a very average, pretty good time if you like this style of game. All right, after The Alien, what could be next after that? We're now going to go on our TRS-80 and play Amoeba Attack Wars. So this one we only have a couple screenshots for. It is very, very hard to come by. Let's just pop it and play some Amoeba Attack Wars. This is by the Programming Force. And the Programming Force, this is the very first game they've done for us. Let's see if we can check this out. Lovely sounds we've been hearing today on Chronologically Gaming. So there you go, that's Amoeba Attack Wars. At least the first title screen. That's so funny. Okay, so it's giving us some kind of sound effect. Now, whenever I play this, I'm moving around with keyboard controls only. Joystick does not respond. I'm already seeing lots and lots of flicker. But I can move in 8 different directions. I am controlling the ship at the top of the screen right now, above the diamond. And I can move it in 8 different directions. And whenever I want to fire, I hit spacebar in the direction I want to fire. And it fires off this very tiny lightning bolt. Oh, at least I got somebody. But I can't fire the lightning bolt diagonally, so I have 8-way directional movement, but I only have 4-way shot movement. And then I also have the ability to hit enter, and my entire ship turns into uses energy up to turn myself into like a shield. So I have a shield that I can do as well. But it looked like even with the shield on it, they killed me anyway. So it's a very much, this feels like the game is going backwards with progression as far as video games go, because this is presented on one screen. We're flying around with no inertia or gravity, and we also aren't, like, what I'm trying to explain that the game isn't letting you do anything except just fly around and shoot a few things in this room. And that's it. That's all there is to this one. As far as a shooter goes, it feels like it's lacking a lot. Plus, there's just so much flicker. I can barely even keep track. Yeah, no way. All right, so of all the games you could be playing right now on a home computer, that one is very much subpar. In fact, it feels like ever since Bill Hogue and Jeff Connew stopped programming games for the TRS-80, it's like the oomph of the TRS-80, it hasn't been very good. Yeah, Manly's already saying 2 stars. Yeah, it's too bad because a lot of the games I like to play on the TRS-80, but this one really wasn't showing its stuff. I'm thinking around the bad range possibly, maybe even lower. Yeah, I see from a 2007, 1.5, yeah, and then some 2 stars. Yeah, even Curtis throwing out 1.5. Richard saying 2. Yeah, so it is very much, if you think of all the games you could be playing right now on a home computer, it doesn't control with a joystick, and it doesn't have the presentation like an Asteroids game. Yeah, so very, very low. So I'm going to say of all the games so far, I'll do 1.5 stars. Just doesn't play well. It's bad. Too bad, Amoeba Wars. I'm sorry about that. Alright, that's where we gotta put our video game playing on pause. We got a lot more games to go in October 1982, so stay tuned. Next time on Chronologically Gaming, we're going to get a port of the arcade machine, which allows you to design your own Galaxy-style Galaxian-style shoot-'em-ups at home. That's it for today, and like I always say, I guarantee we'll play a game that you've never seen before. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are perpetually retro, and we will catch you next time.